G'day, Professor Joseph Drew here. I'm here to share my vision of local government with you. I believe in big local government, not in terms of population size, but in terms of what it does. I believe in local government that does more of the things I care about and plays a more important part in my life. And I'm here to explain that vision in full. So we need local government that's much more respected than what it is in Australia. Local government is not simply roads, rates and rubbish, hasn't been for many years, but this is still the way that most state governments and federal governments are thinking about local government, and most people. If you look at the Leviathan literature, if you've read my book Reforming Local Government, or my more recent book Saving Local Government, you know that the best way to ensure our liberty as human beings, to ensure that we have the right to pursue our existential ends without undue interference, is through a lot of decentralized governments that perform most of the government functions at that level. Then with just a national government that performs the functions that must be done at a national level, like defence, macroeconomic stabilisation, immigration and the like. To get to that stage, we need our other tiers of government to start respecting local government. We need local government to demonstrate and be able to demonstrate that they have the skills and the ability and the talent to perform these functions. And of course they do, but they need to demonstrate that. They need to demonstrate it to the other tiers. They need to demonstrate it to people. I believe that a lot of people following COVID-19 are thinking more about the nature of Leviathan government. You know, the long time historical threat goes back to the dawn of civilization, that government would intrude too much in our lives, would concentrate too much power and competence. And a solution to this perceived problem, of course, is local government. It's always been local government. You go back to the work of the great James Buchanan, that's what he said, lots of decentralized governments doing most of the things we care most about. So my mission is to contribute to a situation where our local governments are respected, where they are appropriately resourced, where they can demonstrate their competence, and we can shift to this new era of big local government, which also will herald in an era of greater individual freedom for people. The common purpose of local government is what I believe in. I believe in a local government that works for the common good. What is the common good? It's very different to that public value, that little trend that's going on at the moment that's encouraging a lot of local governments to get involved in things they ought not to be involved in and diminish their financial sustainability. No, I'm talking about the much older concept of natural law philosophy, the common good, the help accruing to people as a result of their cooperation, which is more than the mere sum of parts. It's about cooperating. It's the difference between a whole heap of people living in a geographic area and having a community. When people cooperate, are prepared to alter their aims and objectives and means in order to help one another, that's when we form community. And we haven't had community in Australia for many years. It's not the same country it was when I was young, sadly. But we can build community again if we re-engage with this concept of common good. And I've got other videos about that. I've got videos about the natural law and government. I've got videos about the principle of subsidiarity and the principle of double effect and creating human flourishing. And I encourage you to watch all of them, because this is what local government should be moving towards. We don't need local government to be as intrusive and powerful and have as much concentration of competence as state and federal government. There's no point, there's no advantage changing from intrusive federal government to intrusive local government. We need a local government whose objective is the common good, which is willing to balance the needs and the rights of human dignity against the common good, and give rise to the outcome that we should all be chasing, which is human flourishing, to to be the best that we can be. We can only do that through strong local government, which is aware of its purpose and how to achieve that purpose. And indeed, I have an entire chapter in my most recent publication, came out last month through Springer, Saving Local Government, looking at the common good, looking at the councillor's role in the common good, and providing some concrete examples of how to find the common good and concretize, make it apparent in our lives for the benefit of the community. And I strongly encourage you to get a copy of that if this video piques your interest. I believe in a local government sector that works closely with the tertiary university sector. We generate knowledge, we generate an awful lot. In fact, Australian local government scholars for many years have been considered the best in the world. We are the leaders in the world in a lot of fields, particularly in local government reform. Yet, when we do local government reforms in Australia, Australian authorities ignore the scholars and disastrous results come about. Yet, when local governments need advice, they go to commercial consultants, pay top dollar, much more, and get very rudimentary and basic, can barely be called analysis, and recommendations that are based on guesswork and gut feeling, which make their communities poorer, not just financially, but in terms of this community spirit that we're trying to build. I want all that to stop. I want the regulators to know that they can ring me anytime. Any minister that wants to ring me, you hop straight on the phone. My phone number is not hard to find. I'm at UTS, or email, and you can ring me. We'll have a confidential conversation, and I'll keep it to myself. And I'll advise you about what will work and what won't work, drawing on my scholarly expertise, which is renowned throughout the world and has been I think attested to by the fact that I'm adjunct professor at 3 countries overseas. Similarly, if you're a GM or a mayor or a councillor and you're thinking about getting some consultation, give me a ring. I'm not saying I want to do it. In fact, I won't take on too much because I think you deserve my utmost attention and my best work when I take on work. But at least find out what you should be getting. So many times you're paying top dollar, you're getting really bad advice and disastrous consequences of the outcome. And that's happening at the state level, it's happening at the local government level, and occasionally it happens at the federal government level. There's examples of that too. I'm dreaming of a world where you guys are engaging with us. I'm getting together the best local government scholars in the world as adjuncts at my university. And we want to help. We've all got the same goal. You've got the same goal. I've no doubt that you want to help. You want to help people to flourish, to be the best that they can. And that's what I want too. So let's join the forces. Stop perceiving us as people that don't want to help or can't help or aren't practical enough to help or might be your political enemy. None of those things are true, certainly not from my perspective. I want to help. I want to help you be successful, whether you're a councillor, a mayor, a general manager, or a minister of local government, or head of a regulatory body. Give us a ring. I'll keep things to myself. I'm very discreet, and we can talk about how we can cooperate. So in sum, I do have a very big vision for local government in Australia. It can be so much better than what it is, and more than that, it needs to be. COVID's shown us that. The high inflationary environment and geopolitical instability and the other risks that are still there, are looming, have shown us this. Local government must be better. And we've got the people in local government, and we've got lots of people in different spheres, regulators, local government ministers, federal government, state governments. We all want the same thing. So come along with me, help me, get in contact if you think I can help, and let's make local government big local government, good local government that contributes to the eudaimonia, to the flourishing of our communities. Thank you very much for your time. Goodbye.